how I started was when I was 5 years old. I was taking piano, a violin lesson.
Well, because I went
Because that's all we could afford. My mom couldn't afford more than $5 for a violin.
I'll deal this time too.
So I studied the violin. I loved it.
idea is to get rid of your crowd.
I was really good at it. I'm not bragging.
There's a little strategy.
Because I played for every show that came into town. And when I was in high school,
When to use them.
I played the violin, the cello, all the strings, bass, or whatever was
And they
missing.
change it back. Well, I didn't have an eight. I couldn't.
And so I loved music.
But and then when I
There was no
used my
symphony
eight,
orchestras in the area,
she didn't have an eight.
or I
so
would
she
have done
couldn't
that.
change it
I
back.
would love to be a violinist in a symphony. So that was what was good. So then, in my second or third year of studies, I guess I was 7 years old. My teacher was a good friend of the
4, 6, 7.
theater manager in Minersville. And the
Mango fish.
Yeah.
Minersville
Oh my
Lyrics
gosh.
Theater was
Oh
called.
my gosh.
When they'd
Well, I have
have something on the screen,
Do you
where there was a
have
violinist playing a certain tune, he'd ask for me to come in. So I got to do that.
At
I did get to see the movie for free, and I didn't get paid, but it was only a nickel to go into the movies anyhow. But that was
ready?
fun.
I just switched over to the guitar.
Oh, that I did when I was tied up with,
Going fishing. Oops, sorry.
had
Do you have a
my ankle was sprained,
Go fish.
and I had it in a cast.
got a 5? I get to go again.
My brother had a guitar, and he
You have
had,
a queen.
I used to finger it like the violinist would, you know, single notes, no chords.
Do you have a
So I
6?
never liked the way he played because he was only in the first fret, 3 frets.
Go
You know,
fish.
the old timers always played in the first 3 frets. They didn't use any of the upper.
Do you have a 10?
So
Fish.
what I did was I started to fool around with double notes, then triple, and 4 notes just to see what I could do. How did they
So if you get
do that?
a pair, then
I never saw anybody play the guitar really well.
try to get rid of
Then
these two.
there was no real jazz players. They were
So she's
mostly
asking me,
hillbillies
and if I
and that
get
kind.
one,
And so
I want that,
I just
put it down.
fooled around with it like that. And then I thought,
Do a 7.
no, I'm going to start it. See if I can name these chords that I'm
You
playing.
have a jack.
It was very simple. From that,
You
I
have a
just kept going on
Go
going.
fish.
And I never took a lesson on guitar because I
Go fish.
I could read music from the violin.
You have a
There was no difference.
10.
Treble
Fish.
clef. So then I taught myself to read it in
Go
the
fish.
bass clef. We didn't have a piano,
Do you have
so I knew all the
a
notes
2?
and how to get them on, even if I had to read the bass clef.
What was your first job playing guitar?
When we moved to Lehighton, and
No, go
we were
fish.
married, and
Do you have a
the
4?
music store there, Henry Kresge, yeah, Kresge's store.
Go fish.
He was forming a little trio,
Fish.
and I was in there looking at the guitars because I didn't own a guitar.
I do.
And he said, I said to him, no, I don't think I
When you
can
get
be
out
interested
of them first.
because
You
I
have
can't, I don't have a guitar. I'd have to borrow my brother's, and he lives in Pottsville.
You have a 9.
I said, well, here's one that's pretty good shape. I'll give you a good price on it.
Go fish.
So that's where I bought my first guitar in
You have
Lehighton.
a 5.
Go
And
fish.
then playing with the little trio, I enjoyed it, but
Go fish.
they didn't get too many
Seven.
jobs because at that time it was tough getting a job. So,
Nice.
but anyhow, he was a good xylophone and piano
You
player,
have a
and so we'd jam and we'd have all kinds of fun.
Ooh, do you have
So then
a
I
6?
started to think,
Oh, you better go fish
hey,
first.
I bet you I could write something that we could do, and so I started on tunes that were popular at the time and see what we could do so that I could play some solos with it, you know. And that's how I got into
Started
writing.
arranging them
Yeah.
some popular
Have a
songs.
two.
Yeah, but just for the two of us. And then when we moved to Chester, when the war broke out and we went to Chester, they had an orchestra at the Italian club. So I went
You have a 5.
and joined the club just to see what it was like, you know. I had no idea they had a big orchestra there. It was a nice club in Chester. So they had a real good band. They were playing real good charts. And I thought, wow, now that's the kind of stuff I want to do.
I'll change it
I
every
want to play in that. So I talked to the guy and I said,
when
you know,
I'll change the game.
I'd like to learn how to really write for a band your size. I said, do you have any need for somebody to play guitar? I see you don't have a guitar. He said, oh yes we do, but he's not here. But they had a full band and they had 5, 5, and 4. And he said, come on, come sit in. So I went down and sat in a couple of times, and then the other guy left the county, and so the seat was open. Now they were playing only for the weekends, weekend dances in the club. But he was getting good charts from
It's always been trash.
most of them from Philadelphia. One of them, I forget the name of the band,
Go fishing.
but they were pretty good.
Let's just go fishing.
But charts in those days weren't as complicated as they are now. It was easy to read.
I'd be playing golf.
So I guess we were there a little over a year and a half, and I started to learn how to write charts. And then it'd help me. I'd take it in, and they'd say, well now Joe, if you'd change this chord to so-and-so, with an augmented fifth and a minor third, it'll sound better. So I'd take the chart back and put that in.
How is it?
And then I realized what they were telling me.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Music is so complicated that you can make it sound any way you want it.
Right.
And so I started to hear all the good bands, listen to the real good bands, and see if I could copy some of their changes.
Good.
And I started to write them down and put them in.
Well, oh,
And so I must have wrote about
new friend.
between 30 and 40 charts for that big band.
So
Do you have any?
Enjoyed.
Another 10.
Do you have any music? Any
Oh, I-
arrangements and stuff
Oh,
currently?
I'll tell you what happened to it. When I came back then, I left the charts with them because,
Oh, I'm better.
you know, the ones I had, what do I need them for? I didn't have an orchestra.
Right.
But when I got home here,
Don't bother him.
You're
there was
welcome.
a little band that was playing in Pottsville
Thank
here.
you.
Ray Brown, his name was. He was a fine
You,
trumpet
thank
player.
you.
He was related to Les Brown's father,
Play again.
and who I got to meet through Ray. And he had a pretty good sized band. And I went up to him and I asked him if I could sit in. By then I could play, you know, quite a bit of jazz. And he said, sure, come on. We don't have a guitar. He said, we're all Army veterans. I said, well, I'm not a veteran because I wasn't even in the service. Don't worry about it. So I played with him.
We're playing Crazy Eights again because I didn't win this time.
Oh, all right.
It's been about 8 years, I guess. And I wrote quite a few charts for him too. But he was a good arranger also. So he had his own
Crazy
book.
eights and crazy twos
But
or something. The deuces are wild.
I enjoyed working with him because he was a fine musician.
Yeah, two different.
And we had a great time. And what was nice about him is I got to write for flutes because the sax players played flutes, and I got a lot of experience. I love the sound of the flute.
So you were talking about what something happened to all your music.
Oh, that helps.
Oh,
And I say,
I was selling
I say
orchestrations
Parts.
$1 a part.
Well,
$1 a
not
part.
very good.
Now it's completely copied. They didn't have to do anything. They just put it down.
Yuck.
So
oh
I
yum.
did the arranging, I did the copy work, and
Oh
just
yum.
they just paid me $1 for each instrument.
Oh yum.
So this group from Shenandoah was gonna
me.
go
Oh yum.
on the road with an 11-piece orchestra.
I
I said, that's perfect. Give me such and such instruments,
And she had the 8 at the end.
and then I can write you some great
Yeah.
charts for 11,
We
for
got
11
2
people.
Go ahead.
Said, yeah, go ahead. We need about 20 to 25. I said, I'll do as many as I can because I have 2 weeks vacation coming up. I locked myself upstairs, got my manuscript paper, started writing these charts and copying them out. First you have to write the original so that you can then transpose it into the different keys for the different orchestra, for the different instruments. I had them all copied. I said, I'll be up on Sunday to rehearse them so that the guys know what I want to hear.
Okay. Wow.
Come Saturday night, the day before,
Okay.
he
there
calls
we
me up and he
go.
says, Joe, we,
There we go.
they won't hire us for 11.
Go
We
first.
need,
I'll go first.
can you
have
cut
2.
it down to 9?
You have 2.
Well, I blew a stack.
I
must have did about 7 back flips.
Okay.
How the hell am I gonna change an orchestration for 11 people into 9? What do you think? You just take 2 parts and throw them out? 2 pieces and throw them out?
Go with the dog.
You can't do that. You change the whole structure of the chord.
What did I ask for?
You know what I'm saying?
9?
Yeah, yeah.
If you play a C6 and you take 1 note out, it's not a C6 anymore. It becomes a C.
You have a 10.
So you would have to
And I
rewrite
had extended
everything.
chords like 11th with a flatted 3rd and then,
Something else.
oh boy, I had some nice changes for the dumb bastards. So I thought, this is it. 2 weeks vacation wasted.
Go fish.
I'm through. I took all the charts, tore them up, and then even the manuscripts that I had, I tore them all up and threw them the hell in the garbage. And not since that day, I never wrote another full orchestration.
G or
And
queen.
that's about
Go fish.
40 years ago or 45 years ago.
You have a
It just made me so disgusted.
7.
Well, what I used to like to do is, especially when I wrote vocals for Ev,
Give an ace.
I made sure I had no chords that would interfere with the voice
A 4.
and changes that were not standard changes. They don't go root, 3rd, 5th. I had a lot of augmenteds, minors.
Go fish.
And I had an experimental band in between there that had written charts for it.
Go fish.
We had a good rehearsal, but we couldn't get a
You
job.
have a
So nobody would come to rehearsals anymore.
Yeah.
But I had all the best musicians in the area
Thank you.
coming to sit
I'm
in.
not gonna ask you this because you're gonna go out if
Do
I
you
ask.
have
I enjoyed doing that.
I
I'd
asked
have
you,
one
right?
new arrangement every week.
You have a 5.
No, that's a lot of work.
No,
You have that.
if you're doing it often enough, it's easy and it's quick.
Well, I knew you were gonna ask me,
Now
so.
that was prior to the
You don't,
incident that made me quit writing altogether.
Just taking that
I have
one out.
still a lot of manuscript paper upstairs if you want it. I didn't tear the manuscript paper.